So before we dive into the meat of the presentation, which is going to be creating and customizing our markups, I do want to touch on a little bit on the tool chest. So in order to access your tool chest, you can see over here on my left-hand side panel, you can access it by clicking on this little, I guess it's like a little toolbox icon. It looks kind of like one of those old-timey lunch boxes to me, but this is where your tool chest is located. If you don't see it, you can click on it right there. If you don't see the icon, you can always access your panels by going to Window, Panels, and then you have access to all of your panels here. So if you don't see it on your left-hand side or wherever you can keep your panels, you can find that here. So you just go ahead and find tool chest, click that, or if you go back there, you can see right next to it that there is a shortcut, Alt+X, so you could use that shortcut to easily access it however you want. So in addition, while we're on the topic of our UI layout, one aspect that I find to be very helpful when customizing your tools and markups is to have your tool chest panel on one side of the UI and then having your properties panel on the other side of the UI. Now, what that lets you do is that lets you work with your tool chests on the left and then make modifications to your markups on the right when they're selected with the properties panel. So in order to achieve that, what we can do is, if it's not set up already, what you can do is you can right click on the properties panel icon. And if we go down to attach, we can choose to attach it to different portions of the screen. So for example, if I click on left, it will move it to the left, left side panel access bar. And if I right click, do attach to the right, it will move it to the right side panel bar. And of course, you can also click and drag. So for example, if I click the search, go over here, just drag it over to the right-hand column, and you can add it to the right-hand side. So just a little bit of UI housekeeping before we got started. I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And of course, you can customize your UI to whoever suits your workflow the best. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew where my stuff was and why I chose to organize it in that way. So now a little bit about tool chests, the tool chest and your tool sets. So you can see I've cleaned up my my tool chest such that it only has these two the tool sets visible at the moment: my tools and recent tools. My tools is kind of like your own personal toolbox. What's special about the my tools tool set is that it is the only tool set that allows you to access the tools using keyboard shortcuts. You can see in the top right corner of each of these markups is a little number. That number represents the keyboard shortcut that, or I guess not shortcut, but I guess the button that is the keyboard shortcut that you could use to quickly access that particular, that particular markup. So if I wanted to make a little pen stroke, I could push 3. You can see that that markup is selected, and I can draw, to my heart's content. That so, like I said, that is the only tool set that lets you access the shortcuts like that. If you add additional markups to this tool set, it will add the shortcut sequentially. So we'll get to that in a sec. But that's what's special about the My Tools tool set. And what's special about the recent tools tool set, it's pretty self-explanatory, but the recent tools will essentially keep a running list or running list of, or history, I should say, of all of the tools that you or all of the markups that you've created in the current session. So mine was blank since I just opened up a fresh copy of Revu and loaded up just this document. So right now, all it has is the little pen markup that I just created from my tools. And as you create more markups, this recent tools tool set will start to fill out. So a few more things on UI related. This little slider down here at the bottom lets you increase the display size of the markups in your tool set. So pretty handy there. Obviously, there's a limit to how big you can make them, but if you have a high DPI monitor or high resolution monitor, sometimes things can get like a little tiny. You could use this to scale that up a little bit. So additionally, if we click on this little gear icon, we can change from symbol mode or symbol display mode to detail mode, which gives you kind of like more like a list rather than just the icons. So you get a little bit more information there. We'll go ahead and switch back to symbol. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started making let's make a markup. So one of the most basic markups, the callout markup, we'll start with there. So we'll go ahead. Now, there's two different ways, there's a few different ways, but mainly you can make modifications to your markups before or after you create them. So I happen to like to create my markup first, and then I make my modifications. So let's make a markup here in the men's restroom. Okay. So do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a little note on this WF punch item, which represents warped floor. So I'll just say warped floor. Okay, beautiful. So I have my markup created. Now I want to customize it. Now, one of the best things about Bluebeam is its ability to keep things organized. And one of the ways that it does that is with the subject field in your markup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my subject from call out, and I'm going to call it flooring. You can see that autocomplete already suggested flooring, since that's already a subject. And what that's going to do is that's going to keep all of our flooring markups, keep them all together in the same place. Now, where that becomes relevant is in the markup list. So you can see under flooring, now I have my markup under the flooring subject here. So we'll go ahead and hide that back. And now let's make a few more customizations just to make it look a little spicier. Oops, gotta make sure it's selected. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's change the color. This is probably the most common way to customize your markups, but we can change the color here. There's another field specifically for the text color. That's down here. Beautiful. Now we got a nice matching blue markup. And of course, we can, have all kinds of other customizations too. We can change the opacity. We can change the line width. Right, we can get a little crazy with it. change the style of the line. Let's give it a little dash line. Why not? We could also change the shape of the text box. Circle, triangle. Let's keep that rectangular. And we could change the style of the arrow. So you can get kind of crazy with the customizations there. One item that I would like to bring to your attention is this auto next to font size. And what that will do is if you check that, it will automatically adjust the font size to fit the size of the text box, which is very handy. So if I went ahead and I made this text box bigger, it would go ahead and resize that text accordingly. Of course, you can always uncheck it, and then it will, default back to the font size that is selected in the font size field. All right, so that's great. So I have my markup all customized. But then, if I go back and I want to make another call out for another, say flooring related item, it's kind of annoying to have to go back and change everything, of course. So why would we do that when we could reuse it? So remember when I mentioned the recent tool set? Well, every single markup that I create is going to be stored in recent tools. So what I can do there is I see that this is the warped floor markup that I just created. I can go ahead and I can click that. Oh, look at that. I have another flooring related item that I want to address, but it's not a warped floor. It's something else. So the reason that it's coming in like that is because I'm in, I forget what it's called. I think it's symbol mode. What I want to do is I want to change to properties mode. Now, what properties mode will do is it won't take the exact markup that I just created, but it will just take the properties. I could take that, and now I can make another one over here. And I can call this, I can say this is tile replace. Sorry, it took me a second to remember what TR stood for. It stands for tile replace in this case. And there we go. Now I have the markup in the same style with the same subject. So it'll show up in my markup list under flooring with the correct label as well that I typed in. Okay, so not every markup that we make is going to be like a call out or something like that. Sometimes you want to, especially if you're working with in the plumbing field or HVAC, sometimes you have you want to add markups that are just symbols like valves or certain types of ducts, for example. And to create those, pretty simple. All we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to select polygon. Okay. And let's see, we're going to make a little, we'll zoom in a little bit. We don't want to make it too big. So when we're drawing, we can hold down Shift to lock our cursor orthogonally. I believe it's every 45 degrees. It will snap to. Bing, 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 bing. So we're just going to make our little triangle. Let's see. I'll try to do this as best I can. Not quite. Tell you what, it's super helpful to have on for this. So we're just I'll redo that. Really useful to have on for that is, let's go to my preferences. Okay, go under grid and snap. We're going to do snap to markup. All right. And this is going to help me draw my markup a little bit better, especially since now we have snap to bid points on as well. So that'll help me make my shape a little bit better. Okay, let's try that again. Polygon. All right, here we go. We're going to make a line. Just, oh, it's snapping to there. Okay, I don't want to snap to there. To snap to. All right. Well, let's not get too crazy. What I wanted to do is I wanted to snap it to this bid point, but we'll say close enough. There we go. All right, so I've got my triangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C, Control V, and duplicate it. We're going to spin it around. Match up there. All right, if I was a little better at there we go. Now we'll take my line markup, go right in the middle, go out a little bit like so. And just so that we have the same length, we're going to go ahead and Control C, Control V, copy paste that, and we'll. Okay, so now we've got a nice little like gate valve looking markup. But we're not quite there yet, as you can see. These are all just individual shapes. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and switch from the grabber icon to the select. So I can go ahead and drag a little box on everything. Make sure you get everything. Okay. So once those are all selected, we can right click and we're going to go for group. So that will take all of those markups, turn them into one. Okay. And then we can go change the subject here, call that gate valve. There we go. It must have remembered from when I was doing my practice markups just a few minutes ago. Okay, so now I've got my gate valve markup here. And again, shows up in my recent tools. Now, this is the situation where you will want your markup to null mode, right? We don't want properties mode here. Even do for us here. We can't even do it. So that's the situation where you would want your markup to be in symbol mode, not in properties mode. Okay, so that's great. But the problem with having this stuff in recent tools is that if I were to close this document, it would and reopen another document or close Bluebeam. These are all gone. That's not cool. We don't want that. Well, we want to save these markups. So some of you may know that Bluebeam does come with some tool sets that are already preloaded. You can see I turned those off for the purposes of this demonstration, but we'll get to some of those in a sec. So in order to add a new tool set, go ahead and go to Manage Tool Sets. We're going to go to Add, New. We're going to call it, what are we going to call it? I don't know. I didn't think about this before the presentation, but we'll call it Demo Toolset, since that's what it is. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's call this one plumbing. Okay, because we just made a gate valve. We're going to add the gate valve to this plumbing tool set. Okay, great. Okay, we'll save it in our default folder. It's fine. All right, great. You can see that pop up there. Right now, it obviously has nothing in it. Now, a few different ways that we can add things to our tool set. Easiest way, go from recent tools, just give the old drag and drop. Beautiful. We love to see it. That's my favorite way, of course, but there are other ways. For example, if let's go to tell you what. Sometimes if you don't have the drawing skills that I do to create this double triangle masterpiece. I'm being facetious, by the way. It's not that great. Um, you can create markups by either copying them from a drawing. For example, if I wanted to create a markup based on these little toilet symbols, one of the ways I can do that is I can go over here to my snapshot markup or push the button G on my keyboard. G takes me into snapshot mode. So I'm going to draw a little box around my toilet that I want to copy. Okay. Going to hit escape to get out of my snapshot mode. Now my toilet image is copied to my clipboard. So I can go ahead and I can do Control V or edit, paste. There's my toilet. And you can see that also, again, shows up in my recent tools. But another way I can add this to my tool chest, so I have this guy right here. I can go in Properties, add to tool chest, and I can add that to plumbing. Beautiful. But one thing that I will want to do is I'll want to select this, and I want to make sure that I change this to boom, toilet. So now we have our toilet markup all good. So let's get rid of these guys. And even once they're gone, it's still available here in my plumbing tool set. So if I wanted to change the color to match my red gate valve, I can do that as well. If I right click on the markup in my my tool set, go to change colors. Okay. It opens up the color processing window. So I can change my source color, choose black, change to red, go ahead and hit OK. And now my toilet is now red, still has the subject toilet. Beautiful, beautiful. You love to see it. So we can add a toilet there in the storage room. Why not? Why not? Okay. Beautiful. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the preloaded tool sets, because I'll be honest, the easiest way to create your own custom tools is to modify existing tools. Why reinvent the wheel here, right? So let's go ahead and turn on Architect Revu. Now, Architect Revu comes with a bunch of preloaded markups. They're all red. Cool. If I wanted to grab some from myself, let's say I wanted to add, one of these like this. I believe this is a Cloud Plus. Wanted to add that to my plumbing tool set. Again, we can just drag, drop, and then we can modify by clicking, and then we can modify this, and we can call this plumbing. And now I can create tile, place, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay. Although it is still, because I was in, sorry about that. But I wanted to create one from here. change the subject. I created the markup from the architect review. It's one thing you got to watch out for is when you do that, make sure you're doing it from the new one. Change that to plumbing. Okay. And for some reason, it's still in Cloud Plus. Okay. Beautiful. We don't like that. Okay. So it's not cooperating. Oh yeah, it is in plumbing. So why is it okay. Maybe I'm just being silly. Okay. There we go. All right. Yeah, just make sure you double check when you're creating your markup that you got the right subject. Yeah, I don't know why that was seems to work now. So that's a beautiful thing. Okay. So like I said, the easiest way to create your own custom markups is to base them off of markups that already exist. So another way we can do that is see these punch items. Now these punch items existed before we opened up uh, this document. But what we can do is if we wanted to grab those for ourselves, we can simply right click, go to add to tool chest, and I can snag that for myself. So now I have this markup. I can add this here. Of course, this is a flooring subject markup, but the same principle applies to whatever markup that you wanted to steal. Let's say a great resource for markups is actually Bluebeam themselves. So we can find that by let's open up a web tab, and we'll go to get out of your pop-up, go to resources, resource hub, ebooks kit. Actually, tell you what, this is the easiest way to find it. Open up your browser, search for Bluebeam tool sets. First result, review custom libraries. The beautiful thing. Click on tool sets, and Bluebeam actually has a number of pre-made tool sets organized by discipline. So here we have mechanical. So you got HVAC ducts, heat and power devices, heating and ventilation, valves. Go to plumbing. We got drains. We got fixtures. We got fixtures too. We got another fixtures. We got pipe fittings, drains again. Go to electrical. We got electrical. We got telecom. We got security. We go interior space design. We got appliances. We got furniture. We got furniture too. We got kitchen furniture. We got office furniture. Guys, this stuff is great. Don't reinvent the wheel. We already got it. So even just using these as a jumping off point to create your own custom, tool sets, it's a beautiful thing. We love to see it. So these are a great resource. Come in, grab them. You can change the color, like I showed you. You can change the subject to fit, whatever your needs are. And in fact, I already loaded a few of those in here, so I can show you. So if I go over here, I've got the HVAC valves already loaded. Boom, there it is. So why make the gate valve when they can make it for you? Look, that looks way better than my gate valve. Although not, look, I'm not here to compare myself to these, but they do okay. So again, like I said, we can change the colors here. We could click on this, change colors, change from black to red. Beautiful. We can change the subject if we want to. We could also change the label. That's something I didn't touch on. So the subject is one thing that's used for organization. The late label is right below it in this little text box over here. And what that is that's essentially another text box that you can use for more information. So if I hover over it, it'll say gate valve, but I can also change that to gate valve 2, right? So hover over. Come on, killing me, killing me. Okay, yeah, gate valve 2. There we go. I think it was because I had an erroneous uh, new paragraph in there. And again, I can grab these. All right, if I wanted to, now we're getting a little crazy because I'm going to take HVAC valves and I'm going to put them in my plumbing um, tool set. It's a big no. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I can click and drag this down here, add it to my tool set, right click. I can change the colors, make that red. Bingo, bango. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And what's great about this too is that once they're in this the tool set, so you can add a few, and I'm just kind of being a little bit not using much discretion with my placement here. But what we can do now that we have a bunch placed is if I right click on this, okay, I can click on create count as well. And what that'll do is that'll create a count measurement based on this markup symbol. So if I wanted to say count my gate valves, I can click on that, and now I'm making a count. So it's creating a tally in the bottom right hand corner of this particular markup. And so that's how you create custom count measurement symbols. Normally, if we go to tools, measure, count, normally we're limited to our check mark, triangle, square, circle, diamond. But since I did create count from this guy, I can also use that symbol as my count symbol as well. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. So last thing I want to touch on before I start hitting up the questions, and I do see some questions coming in. It's very nice. Is now that we've created this beautiful custom tool set called plumbing. It's got a gate valve. It's got a toilet. It's got this Cloud Plus symbol. It's got my punch, one of my punch items. PS. If we go here and we go to construction, we got all these punches. Boom, boom, boom. Punch cleaning, punch electrical, punch flooring, punch lighting, punch paint. Love that. So just wanted to point your attention to that as well. We've got this lovely, lovely tool set. How do I share this tool set with my colleagues, my friends, my coworkers? There's 2 different ways to do this. So you see here we have this save button. Okay, that just saves the tool set. That's fine. We also have export. This is what we want. So we're going to export the tool set. It's going to be exported as, I believe it's a .btx file is how it will be saved as. I'm going to save it right to my desktop. That's fine. Okay. So now I've saved it. And if I go into my tool chest drop down, hit manage tool sets, I have 2 different options. Okay. So I can import or I can add. Now we just did add before where we added a new tool set. Or I can add an existing tool set. So if I select existing, I can click on that. I can go to my desktop. I find my plumbing, tool set, and I add it. So there's my file path. We hit OK. We hit OK again. Now you'll see I have the 2 different plumbing tool sets. Why? Because this first one, let me turn off that HVAC. valves one. And I'll turn off architecture too. Because this top one, the one that I originally created, this one is saved in my default Bluebeam tool folder, which is in app data somewhere. This is the one that I exported to my desktop. And you'll notice it's got a little lock symbol on it. Why? Well, it's because when I went to manage tool sets and I did add, I'm adding this tool set as a shared tool set. So if you export your tool set, you can upload it to a shared network drive, to a Dropbox drive, for example, and you can have your colleagues go to tool set, go to add, and then what will happen is that it'll show up in their tool set with this little lock symbol. You unlock it, you can make modifications to it, and those modifications will be translated to everyone that has that tool set added, right? So essentially what you're doing is you're creating a shared, collective tool set. So we can add, let's add let's turn my HVAC valves back on. We're going a little crazy. We'll add this guy to it. Boom. Oh, yeah. I currently do not have a lock on plumbing. So unlock it, add it, lock it back up. And now anyone that has this tool set added to their tool chest will have those, whatever changes propagated throughout, whoever has it added. Now, if you just wanted to, simply like I don't care about, if you don't care about sharing your tool set or, having everyone be on the same page with the same tools, that's fine. We could simply just do an import to, sure, overwrite it. Doesn't matter. Okay, and now I just have my plumbing tool set. I can make whatever changes I want. I don't need to worry about the lock or unlock or whatever, but it is just for me. So that none of the changes will propagate to anyone else because this is my own personal, plumbing tool set that I imported.